Alright, let's see another question to draw and apply Newton's law as well. So the question says, there are two horizontal forces exerted on a large crate. The first force is 317 newtons to the right. It's to the right. And see the key word here, horizontal forces. And the second force is to the left. So keep all these points in mind while you're solving such questions, because you have to pay attention to that. Now, before solving this question, I would want you to look at the formula sheet that will be given for your exam. So you have these formulas that and the value for a g, acceleration due to gravity. So that's given 9.8 meters per second square, and we have the force of gravity formula, that is mass times 9.81. This force of gravity can also be termed as weight. Alright, this is the weight as well. And these two blocks you have here, this is AX, AY, this is VX, VY. That's your horizontal component in the X direction for both velocity and A amplitude, or the vertical components are given in terms of sign. Alright, so you don't have to by heart or remember all these formulas, but you should know when to use it. And this is Newton's second law equation. Acceleration equals F net over m. Alright, and these two are related to friction formula, kinetic friction and static friction. And this comes in the two-dimensional force calculations or vector calculations, Pythagoras theorem, when the angles are at 90 degrees. And here you have F of F net plus Fg, and here we have equations of motion. Alright, and we'll be using one or more than one formula in a particular question. So they give you like this a sample of the formulas that is required for that particular question will be given above. So you should know when and how to use it. Alright, coming back to the question. Draw a force diagram for the horizontal forces acting on the crate. So you don't have to worry about what is a crate, how does it look, nothing, because you are going to place it as a dot. So any object is represented by the dot. So first step is place that dot. And then look at the value given. It is 317. The magnitude of the first force is 317 to the right. The second force is to the left. And look at the magnitude. It's not the same, it's different. So as I was explaining in the previous video, you have to think whether the forces are balanced or not. So here the forces are different. There are only two forces acting. They're acting opposite to each other. One is right and the other one is left, and they are not equal. So here the forces are not balanced. The forces are not balanced, which leads to accelerating object. So there is acceleration. And one more point, F net is not equal to 0. It's not 0. So all the reverse condition will apply to when it is balanced. There is no acceleration. The F net will be 0. Alright, let's draw the forces for this particular situation. So I will draw to the right 317 Newton. And when you are drawing the opposite force, you have to keep it in mind about this magnitude. This is less than the 370 Newton, so you will show it with a smaller vector. Okay, remember this, I draw a longer line. Why? Because this is much greater. This is only 173 Newton. So this is the correct way of representing it. If you draw like this and label it as 317 and 173, this will be incorrect. This is wrong. Why? Because you kept both length equal. It's not equal here. This is greater, so that is represented by the length of the arrow or the length of the vector. Okay, so we have drawn, or we have done the first part question. Now there is a part B question to this. It says, what is the net force acting on the crate? So F net is the question. right? Now you F net, how do you find? You combine all the forces. It's a very simple question, I know, but as I have been telling you earlier, keep your simple questions base strong so that you don't lose marks on these easier questions, because that will add up to your percentage. So once you get that secure, you clear the exam and then aim for little challenging or complicated questions and then attempt that. So keep your base and your foundation clear without having any mistake in such questions. All right. So F net is, this is going to the right, 317, so that's positive. It's on the opposite side, so this is negative. So you combine the forces, 317 minus 173, and then you will get the answer. All right.